What's going on, guys? This is Mr. Teej 66's movie reviews. I am Mr. Teej 66. Decided to drop the whole, hat and costume thing. I just figured I'm just gonna be myself from now on. I just got done watching Bill and Ted Face the Music, literally just about a minute, 2 minutes, or a couple minutes ago. And before I get started, it should be noted I am a major fan of both of the films. I've grown up with them, watched them consistently. So when I heard they were finally making a third film, which had been rumored for a long time, and I kind of always was like, man, will they ever make another one? And now here it is. But I was slightly nervous because, a lot of sequels that, take place decades later or made decades later, just tend to be mining nostalgia and they just feel like a waste of time. Or maybe actors who, careers are in really desperate need of a hit that just decide to come back. So I was nervous, but then I started hearing the good reviews. But you never know. I could disagree. And having finally watched the movie, it was awesome. I had a blast. It is absolutely in line with the first two films. It has that same sweetness and good-naturedness to it that the other films had. There's not a cynical bone in this film's body, and God knows we need it right now because the world is just getting shittier out there. I don't need to tell you that, with coronavirus and protests and just awful, nasty things. Even a lot of comedies today are just nasty and mean-spirited. It's nice to see something that's. I think the movie's rated PG-13. This could be PG easily. I don't know. There wasn't really a lot of cursing or any offensive things going on. But the plot, well, Bill and Ted now are middle-aged and they have not fulfilled their destiny to write the song that will unite humanity. And someone from the future comes, played by Kristen Schaal. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. And she says, you have to write the song in 77 minutes or the entire reality is just going to implode. And there's just, throughout the movie, there's great gags where, like, historical figures from other times start coming into other times. Like, you'll see Jesus, like, walking on water past George Washington, on the Potomac River, I believe. And just little gags like that I thought sprinkled throughout were great. And Bill and Ted decide to go to the future and steal the song from themselves because they probably have already written it, or so they claim. And their daughters go backwards in time to collect various musical historical figures to start the band. And hilariousness ensues. One of the things I liked most about the film was it's very quickly paced. Like, of all the Bill and Ted films, this is the fastest pace. It's always going somewhere. We're going here, we're going to there, we're going here, here, there, here. It never stays in one place too long, which is great. It keeps up a certain energy that even when the movie doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, I don't care. And Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, what can be said? They go right back into these parts like they never left. And I was worried the film was going to, start making fun of them and, being more ironic, aren't these guys idiots and they're out of time? And they really don't. They love these characters. The movie likes its characters. It wants them to succeed. They're not the brightest. They're not the brightest guys in the world, but they have such a big heart, and they're so open and positive, and just we need that right now. The supporting cast is great. We have some familiar faces coming back. We have make sure I have his name right. Hal Landon Jr. as Ted's father. He gets a few nice scenes, and he's like 80 years old and still a cop though. Like, I think he'd be retired by now, but whatever. I don't care. Who we got here? Samantha Weaving and Bridget Lundy-Paine play their daughters, and I think that Bridget Lundy-Paine did a slightly better job. She's Keanu Reeves is Ted's daughter. I thought she did a slightly better job of capturing the mannerisms of her dad without being a complete copy. Samara Weaving was fine too. She's not bad. I just think I just think Bridget did a better job as capturing the essence of the character. But they were both fun. The movie finale is, I was almost in tears. It was so happy. I'm not going to spoil it, but the way they make the song is like, okay, I don't know if that makes complete sense, but I buy it, and it's a nice emotional ending. But without a doubt, my favorite returning character was William Sadler's death. He was the best part of Bogus Journey, and once again, he absolutely steals every scene he's in. And I like the fact that they don't make him do shtick in this movie. I was worried they were gonna trying to make his character extra goofy, so it wouldn't feel like the same character from the first film. Nope, 100%. He is exactly the same character, and I just loved him. He wasn't in the movie as much as I thought. I would have liked more William Sadler. It would have been fantastic. But now let's get on to the negatives, because there are a couple. My main problem, the time travel logic isn't always make a whole hell of a lot of sense, and that's true of the first two films as well. You just kind of have to go with it. Oh, I forgot the robot. How could I forget Dennis the robot, who at first is just sort of like a generic Terminator clone. He's sent to kill Bill and Ted, which are for reasons I don't quite completely understand. But he's given a nice character arc, and gets some pretty big laughs. And he's very likable. He's like the guy, he's like that unhip guy who wants to be with the cool kids. And I thought his character was absolutely endearing. So, okay, I wanted to mention him. So back to the negatives. Some of the green screen is not the greatest, especially in the future and in Hell in particular, it just looks really cheap and and the movie was only $25 million, so I have to cut it some slack, but there are times when I did get kind of pulled out of it, yeah, that looks a little cheap. The time travel logic doesn't always make a whole hell of a lot of sense, and to be fair, that's true of all three films, but there are long-winded exposition scenes where you're just like, wait, what? Huh? Like the finale, I think I understand why it happened, but I'm not 100% sure. But it just touched me on an emotional level that I didn't care, so I just went along with it. That's really about all the negatives I could think of. So, yeah, I would give this movie an 8.5. I had a blast. The ending just almost brought tears to my eyes. I'm not even kidding. For a goofy comedy, once again, there's layers of meaning to the comedy, with just like the first two films. It seems really dumb, and yet it's actually kind of smart. And we should credit the original writers who wrote the first two films, Ed Solomon and I just forgot his name off the top of my head. Chris Matheson. They do a fantastic job on the script. This movie is clearly made with a lot of love. There's so much care and energy put into it. This is not a corporate, bullshit. Let's just mine nostalgia and wring a few bucks out of it. And I'm so happy that these characters got a proper send-off. There's no need for any more. This completely ties the story together, and I'm so happy. 8.5. If you're a fan, I don't know why you haven't watched it by now. It took me a couple days to get around to it, but yes, this movie was a blast. But thanks for watching, and this is Mr. Teej 66, and I will see you next time.